Yekaterina Selezneva is one of the world's leading rhythmic gymnasts. With help from U.S. Olympian Lolo Jones, we're putting her through a series of tests to understand more about her anatomy.
I'm actually kind of tired from cheering for you. Hi, I'm Lolo Jones, and welcome to Anatomy of a Rhythmic Gymnast. Joining me here at the University of Westminster in London is Russian star Yekaterina Selezneva. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Rhythmic gymnasts perform their routines with a variety of apparatus. The sport requires strength, endurance, and mobility, not to mention poise and grace. At the 2019 World Championships, Yekaterina won 2 golds and 1 bronze.
Нас учат выворотности, чтобы ножки были красивые, как у балерин, выносливости, чтобы прогоны было легко делать, чтобы ты мог сделать их 5 штук и не устать. Не было никакой отдышки. Также осанка и многое другое. Поэтому есть какие-то качества, которые с детства присущи, а есть те, которые приходится нарабатывать ежедневно в зале.
We've brought Yekaterina to a leading sports science facility in London. We're going to look behind the stats of this elite athlete and probe deeper into her physiological makeup.
First up, we're going to test Yekaterina's body composition with the BOD POD test.
That's brilliant. So a BOD pod is a machine that measures someone's body composition. It measures the volume of their body and also how heavy they are. And from their mass and their volume, we can extrapolate a lot of information, including today, body fat. So the BOD pod gives us one real key piece of data today, which is 9% body fat. I knew Katerina would be quite low, but that was very low. Gymnasts in particular tend to be very low body fat because they need to be quite lightweight, but also very powerful.
Let me just break that down for you. I have more fat in my thumb than you have in your whole body.
Katerina is probably about as low as you'll see an athlete go safely.
And you said you don't eat strict?
Not always. Before competitions, yes. It's strict, but in general life, no.
Wow, I hate you. In rhythmic gymnastics, there are plenty of jumps and turns in the air, so this test will be interesting.
Yekaterina needs strong muscles in her legs. The calves, hamstrings, glutes, and quadriceps provide her with the power to execute her routines.
What we're going to do next is jump height, and that's going to measure your lower body explosive power, basically seeing how high you can jump. And that's, of course, super relevant for rhythmic gymnastics because your sport is involved in quite a lot of really explosive short movements like jumping about. So we do it with your hands on your hip, which makes it seem a bit awkward. But that's because we're really focusing on your lower body and your leg strength, as opposed to maybe like a slightly more real-world movement where you'd use your arms and get your whole body involved. And of course you get a better score there, but we're not sure if it's skill or technique or just pure power from your legs. And here we're measuring just pure power from your legs. So 3, 2, 1, all the way down, all the way up.
There you go. There, that was it.
The highest she did jump was 30 centimeters exactly. And that gives her a score that is well above average for a healthy young female of her age. And that's kind of what you expect from gymnasts, which is the ability to produce force and jump very quickly.
I really thought she was gonna have one of the most amazing marks, but again, it's one of those sport-specific things where most of her jumps require her to run and then jump. So wasn't really too concerned. It wasn't bad. It just, I don't know, I guess I just thought that was gonna be her best result. In this next test, we're gonna take our gymnast for a ride and test her anaerobic power.
So what we're going to be doing this time is what's called a Wingate test. A Wingate's a 30-second long maximal intensity test that measures your explosive power, but also your ability to maintain that power for a slightly longer period of time. As opposed to the jump before, which is just that immediate on, this is on and then maintain it.
So along with measuring power output, the test will see how long she can maintain that power before tiredness sets in, something known as the fatigue index.
You seem nervous.
A little bit.
And 3, 2, 1, go. Pedal, 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 faster, 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 faster.
Come on, push. Let's go.
полную силу крутить велосипед с утяжелением в течение 30 секунд. Конечно, было немножко тяжело, но мне кажется, я справилась хорошо.
Almost there, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Finish! Come on! Good job.
This was an interesting one. What we had was a peak value that was good. But what was really impressive is if you look at the change of her power output over time, is she doesn't really fatigue. She showed very little drop-off over time. And that's quite relevant to her sport because rhythmic gymnastics is all about events that last between 60 to 90 seconds, and it's that ability to produce force continuously for a sustained period of time that we're mimicking here.
The lower the fatigue index number, the better an athlete can sustain anaerobic power. Yekaterina is more superior at doing this than some elite sprinters and basketball players.
And not only that, did you notice she did not sweat at all? Not one drop. Not one drop. So let's take a break from testing. Tell us, growing up, did you ever watch the Olympics on TV? What were your best memories from watching them?
Каждая Олимпиада — это, конечно, огромное событие для любого спортсмена. И я еще не участвовала ни в одной Олимпиаде, но каждую смотрю, болею, переживаю за наших спортсменов. И, наверное, самыми такими эмоциональными были для меня игры в Пекине, потому что я там присутствовала сама, на трибунах болела, сидела. И когда Евгения Канаева, наша спортсменка, первый раз вот выиграла Олимпиаду свою, это были, конечно, непередаваемые эмоции.
How physically demanding is your sport?
Конечно, это такой специфический вид спорта. Гимнастика художественная, она требует очень много гибкости. Наверное, ты должен быть выносливый, и у тебя должна быть хорошая прыгучесть, толчок должен быть хороший.
Well, let's get back to some more testing.
Давайте, конечно.
This final test examines stamina.
Although she's a non-endurance specialist, Yekaterina trains for 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. And we're going to look in more detail at her cardiovascular fitness levels.
So what we're going to do now is called a VO2 max test. Basically, we'll start you out at a nice kind of slow jog, and then every 2 minutes we're going to get a little bit faster, and then a little bit faster, and faster, and faster, and faster, until you can't go any further. So we're going to push you all the way to your very limit and try and find that limit the hard way. It's not a fun test, I'll admit it, but it's an informative one for us.
И, честно говоря, я вообще не люблю бегать, никогда не бегаю, потому что очень тяжело нам, гимнасткам, это дается.
10 seconds. Good. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. Good. Slowing you down now. Slowing you down. Okay, so the maximum VO2 max we got for you there was 47 milliliters per kg per minute, which is a fantastic score. So we've got average female society, which is more like 30, 35, and maybe kind of semi-trained people might get above that into the low 40s, but a high 40 for a sport that's not traditionally thought of it as aerobic, like say cycling or distance running. It's a really awesome score. It's a great score.
I think she absolutely dispelled the myths that rhythmic gymnastics is just so artistic, there's no effort or, hard work involved. I think if anything, it shows that they can do the hard work and not even sweat. That's how good they are. They're not even showing you their pain. That's the beauty of their sport.
So when we pushed her to points where we were trying to break her, physiologically speaking, she'd recover very, very quickly. And I could kind of speculate, perhaps that's similar to her sport in gymnastics, where she does incredibly difficult, challenging, hard things that are right at the limit of her ability, but she does so with poise and grace and style and doesn't make it look hard, she makes it look easy.
I'm Yekaterina Selezneva. Thank you for watching. I have to go to the gym now. Goodbye.